Good morning, guys. Mark Angelo here. Hope you guys are doing well as can be with the times we are living. But I guess we could look at this two different ways. We could see it as the glass half full or the glass half empty. Are these times creating a better version of us, learning that all the things we once thought we needed, we actually don't need, learning to bring out the adult in oneself versus the child that's constantly wanting more and constantly complaining and so forth and so on. So I believe that there is a lot of good in what's taking place. It all just depends how you view it. I haven't really been talking a lot about transgender topics, but I wanted to point out there's an individual who has been writing comments on my last video, and I don't know what their intent is or what their intents are, but obviously they're stuck on this whole concept of quote-unquote biology. The biological camp that we see today nitpicking on trans individuals' identity and claim that they have nothing against us, but they just keep wanting to poke at the fact of what they believe our biological nature is. Biology, although it has a lot of objective findings, is not written in stone. And the new science that grows every day, because that's one thing about science, wait for it and it will change, does not correlate with the old beliefs of chromosomes and what genitalia you have. And especially when you look at the default system of a fetus, when you look at the fact that both men and women have nipples, both men and women have the capacity of either having tissues that will become ovaries or tissues that will become testicles. I mean, it all depends on the hormonal bathing, the chemical environment, and so forth and so on. So it's not as written in stone as most people want to believe, yet they try to crucify us with that and make it a big issue. So this person asks me, what is my definition of a man? And I simply said, you're looking at me. So that wasn't good enough for them. So I said, well, I believe, man is an individual, a person that lives by a certain code of ethics and has a sort of set of stereotypical things that we would consider manhood. And these are things that throughout history, not just something that we just made up now, throughout history, men have had certain roles and certain characteristics that they portray or they show forth, whatever. And as doesn't always have to do with genitals, because there are a lot of hiccups along the way, and that's why we have the intersex condition. And I know that a lot of people try to say, well, transsexuality has nothing to do with intersexuality, and I beg to differ, because I truly believe that it is a form of intersexuality, like it or not. It is what it is. I mean, there are many transsexual people who you would very clearly see as intersex because of how they're, like for instance, I was born with a micropenis. I had a lot of issues in the menstruation department growing up because I was not your typical, whatever typical is. And I had a deeper voice, I had hair throughout my body, a lot of things. I was taken to the gynecologist all the time, and they were just poking and poking and trying to figure out why I was the way that I was. But neither here or there. I mean, it's nobody's business, really. And I don't know why people have tried to make it their business and try to rally behind it. I know that, this person claims to be an atheist, so it's not religion that's driving that force. I don't know what is. Everybody has their reasoning behind it, but no one has the right to tell somebody else how to identify, how do they feel like. And yes, feelings are important. If you don't understand that feelings make the crux of our world, you feel happy, you feel depressed, you feel something inside that lets you know that something's not right with the way the mirror portrays you. Feelings are a very important chemical reaction that uses the neurological system, the parasympathetic, and autonomic nervous system to actually tell you, who you are inside. We know from a very young age something's wrong, it's not right, and we can't put a word to it. The word has been created recently, which is transsexuality, but no one has the right to tell transsexual folks or transgender folks that they're wrong for feeling what they feel or claiming they are who they are. That's just nonsense all the way around. So to this individual, I could care less what you think. So asking me questions to try to satisfy your own need, whatever that may be. I mean, I guess your life isn't very complete when you have to butt into somebody else's life. That's your issue, not mine. I live my life daily as the man you see before you. Whether you like it or not, that's not my problem. I really don't care. Unless you're going to go to bed with me, have some intimacy with me, it is really none of your business. The world sees a man, and whether I have a fully grown genitalia down there or a micro one, that's my business, nobody else's. The only other person who has to worry about that is my wife, and that's between her and I. So, what is a man? What is a woman? We're human beings placed on this planet, due to whatever type of crazy mad deity decided to do with us and continues to do with us on a daily basis. This needless suffering, this needless way of living due to greed and the need for power from others is just creating a miserable world. A world that doesn't have to be this way. We could live it differently. And it starts by learning to respect other people, respecting their views, their beliefs, and their understanding of how their world is. So anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. I love you, but remember to always love yourselves too. Bye-bye.